Hello friends, I am Sarang. Today in this video we're going to talk about answer writing. This video has been brought to you by Delhi IAS Academy. You can contact us for if you're interested in preparing for IAS or PCS exams. So in this video we're going to talk about what makes an answer perfect, what answer writing generally is, what constituents or components make up a good answer. Alright, so we'll understand what a good answer is, how a good answer is written, and what makes an examiner think that whether an answer is good or not. What are the parameters that an answer is weighed upon before giving marks? We'll focus on each and every one of these points individually. So let us start. Suppose there is a question of 150 words. Alright, this is 150 words question that you're supposed to answer in 150 words. If we're talking about UPSC exam, okay. So in UPSC, quality matters. We can say quality over quantity. Quantity. When I say quality over quantity, I never mean that quantity doesn't even matter. What I actually mean is quality has way more impact than the quantity. Why? What is quality? When we are referring to answers, quality means many things. Will I explain you along? Quality means presentation. Quality means diagrams. And by quantity, what I mean actually is facts and data. Alright. A perfect answer is the one that constitutes each and every one of these components. A perfect answer is beautifully presented. It has all the required diagrams at all the required places. It has all the facts and all the relevant data that is required in order to substantiate the points that you're making in your answer. So now we'll understand each of these components individually. So I will try to explain everything with an example. First of all, we'll talk about presentation. The most important component of presentation is structure. It is structure. What is structure? What is structure in general? Suppose you have a building. The building, any building, take Antilia, the house where Ambanis live. That building has a unique structure. It looks like a tower. That vertical structure is the way that the building has been formed and the way that building is being presented to whoever watches it. Similarly, the structure that you give to your answer is the visual appeal of your answer. So we can what we can do is divide the answer in various parts. We were talking about 150 words answer. All right. What I suggest everyone to do is, first of all, I would like to present a little disclaimer. Anything and everything that is being told in this video is derived from years of experience of me, myself, and my staff members, my colleagues, and the seniors that we have consulted over the years. So I'm never claiming that anything I tell you in these videos is the only thing or the only way that something can be done, but it is one of the ways and it is the tried and tested way. All right. So what we're gonna do is we start with an intro. So I always suggest the intro must be from 25 to 30 words. All right. If the answer is 150 words, the intro must be in between 25 to 30 words. This is the ideal size. Some people prefer giving large intros like 50 words or 60 words. What that does is that eats up space from the main context of the question, from the body itself. So we do not want to waste space on something that is not as relevant as the body, because the body of our answer is going to actually answer what is being asked. So after putting a 25 to 30 words introduction, what we're going to do is we'll start with our body. So inner body, first of all, try to analyze the question that what is being asked. Suppose the question is, how did Gandhiji influenced our freedom struggle? So the question is, how did Gandhiji influence our freedom struggle? So now to answer this question, first in the introduction, we can start by giving a very interesting or important fact about Gandhiji or any movement. I would like to start like this. Gandhiji has been a very important leader, leading movements like non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, quit India movement, etc. that contributed in independence of our country. So we can start with anything that you like, that just to give a little context to the examiner, because examiner is in different mood before he or she has started reading your answer. He is in a different mood, different atmosphere. We want to transpose or transport the examiner into the your answer in your writing. It is just like art, like there are authors, writers who write books. They also uses these tricks to engage the readers. So with the beautiful introduction, we have transported the reader to our universe. Our universe is what the question is being asked. So in this context, we want the attention to be on Gandhiji and his ideas. So now we'll give a heading to the body, like influence of Gandhiji, something like that. Then we will put a box to give proper attention, to make a proper, like we want to demarcate whether we want to demarcate that from here only my introduction ends and my body starts. So then we'll give first point. Numbering is very very important. Numbering, you can say, is like a pain reliever to the examiner. Why? Because it is a huge pain for examiner to individually count your points and give you marks accordingly. Why points matter? Points matter to determine how much content have you put in your answer. No examiner has that much time to sit upon each and every point or go through each and every word of your answer. So these are the things that help the examiner to check your papers faster. So you must put numbering. All right. And numbering and subheading, like we can say influence of Gandhiji, non cooperation. You must underline each and every point. Then you can write one or two lines about your point. And also always it is just very very important to give some fact or example to substantiate the point that you're making. If it is 150 words answer, you must have at least 5 to 6 points. Then you can put 25 to 30 words conclusion. Conclusion must be positive. Conclusion must be like it should do two things. It should summarize what has been talked about in the answer, and it should have a very positive connotation to it. That examiner is, when examiner is leaving your question, conclusion is the last thing that he or she is reading before giving you the marks. So a positive conclusion gives a positive image of the candidate in minds of examiner. So this is a structure of a 150 words answer. If we're talking about 250 words answer, okay, one thing more that I would like to add is, if we are dealing with 150 words answer, you must respect the word limit. Not exactly follow it, but respecting it in the sense that you must not exceed 2 pages at max. We have students who like to write more on the answers that they are efficient in, or that they have read or revised multiple times, and they tend to make the answers that they're not comfortable, very comfortable with, smaller. So this gives an uneven impression on the examiner. It enables the examiner, it leads to examiner believing that this candidate is not expert in some topics. So we want to maintain a balance. So we will not exceed the 2 pages limit if it is a 150 words answer. But when talking about 250 words answers, then there are chances that there are multiple things that have been asked, like two or three questions in a single question. Then what we do, we follow the same pattern but little bit differently. We give 25 to 30 words intro, then we divide a body into multiple subparts, and each subpart we put at least 3 to 4, if more than 3 questions, or 3 questions, or 5 to 6 points if there are 2 sub questions in the 250 words answer. Like this, body, then same conclusion. So the pattern is same. So now we're going to talk about diagrams. What are diagrams, why diagrams are important, all that stuff. Diagrams are nothing but visual representation of data, or visual representation of the points that you are raising, or the anything. For example, if it is a technical question from geography, like there was a question in a recent test series that we are conducting. The question was on cyclones. So many of our students drew a very nice diagram of a cyclone, showing that this is a cyclone and cyclone has an eye, like this. So a diagram helps the examiner to actually judge whether the candidate is actually adept in the subject or he is just pretending. Because when there is a paucity of time, the examiner does not have the luxury of going through each and every point that I have also emphasized on earlier. So diagrams also makes it easy for examiner to check your answers. So structure plus diagram, this is where we conclude our presentation part. We have talked about presentation, diagrams. So now we'll talk about relevancy and importance of facts and data. Facts and data are nothing but like they are little supports. Supporting what do they support? They support your points. You cannot just go around, run around making uh, statements that have no base. You cannot just say India is a very poor country. Even we all know that India is a poor country in many regards, but you cannot just blatantly make this statement and go on with your life that in my answer I'm writing India is a poor country. I must substantiate that why I'm saying so. So I'll quote, like in the recent report by UNDP, more than 50% of people sleep empty with an empty stomach. So that's why I think India is a poor country. So if you have given this point in bracket, that it puts a weight to your answer, to your point. So examiner doesn't think that this candidate is just shooting arrows in the air. The examiner is actually convinced that because the candidate is substantiating his or her point, so he or she must be very expert in the subject matter that is being asked. So this slightly, not slightly, this increases your chance of getting good marks. So these were the points that I had in my mind that I wanted to share with you friends for a very long time. So if you have learned anything, or if you're interested in knowing more about our programs and our mains answer writing mentorship program, so you can contact us on this number. Right now we have an MMP program going on. In MMP, what we provide test series with evaluation so that students can be helped. All right. So if you have any doubts, queries, you can comment in the comment section down below. We would be very lucky, feel ourselves very lucky, and if we are able to help you guys out. So that it was it for this video. We'll meet in our next video. Till then, bye bye.